makers of quality products for over 100 years. Live from Music City, USA, it's Nashville Now. Our guest tonight, our co-hostess Helen Cornelius, along with Ralph Emery for the Nashville Network Staff and Crew Show. And now, live from the Gaslight Theater at Opryland, welcome the host of Nashville Now, Ralph Emery.
Jerry, thank you very much. Thank you. And I want to thank you folks for joining us tonight for something very, very special. The 1987 Nashville Now Staff Show. You know, it takes a lot of very good professional people to get this show into your homes every night. And tonight, we would like to introduce you to some of the folks who help us here at Nashville Now, and also some other folks who are coming over from different vantage points throughout the network. And here to help me introduce them is the very lovely Miss Helen Cornelius. She's our co-host.
Thank you, Ralph. I'll tell you what, it is such a pleasure to be here with you tonight. And, you know, you recognize all these wonderful, talented people that are always behind the scenes. And, you know, you're right. It takes a lot of people to make you look good. I mean, a lot of people. A whole bunch.
But I do clean up nice, don't I?
Yes, you do. You look real nice tonight. But don't be real modest, because actually, you know, and we all know that you have the finest group of people working for you here on Nashville Now, anywhere in the world. And I just want to help you to bring them on. And I should know, because I've been on this show 12 times.
That's the reason you're on tonight. We know how cheap you work.
That's right. Let's get started. What are we waiting for?
All right, this is going to be a fun show. These are very important people who play an integral part in putting the Nashville Network on the air. And our first Nashville Network star is Grady Eldridge. Grady works in the purchasing department. If you need it, he'll get it. Boy, I tell you what, Grady, I've got a laundry list for you tonight. Before he hired on here, he spent 7 years plucking a banjo and a guitar for Lonzo and Oscar. Would you please welcome Grady Eldridge? You'll notice the difference in the co-host. One gets kissed, the other doesn't. And that's the way I like it. Grady, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
What do you purchase for the Nashville Network?
Office supplies and just whatever they need.
But could we, it has been said by somebody there in the back, I won't mention his name because we don't want to know where it's coming from. Could you get a new jacuzzi for the Nashville Network?
I'll have to talk to my boss.
Huh?
Talk to my boss.
Hard to get a requisition through?
That might be hard to do, yeah.
You know, Grady said that he was, you know, with Lonzo and Oscar for 7 years, and you said this is the best job you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in the van days of the...
Yes.
Or bus?
Yeah,
in the van days?
Started out in the van, then we went to the bus.
Well, was it just a rat race too much for you? I mean,
Well, it wasn't. We was gone so much. We was on the road constantly and stuff, you know, and you have a family, you know, you like to get home and stay in touch, you know. With this job, I'm still associated with music, but I'm, you know, in Nashville based and stuff, and it's just great. The people are super at the network.
Grady, there is a purchase you've been making that I wish you would stop making. They keep putting this fake snow in this bucket overhead, and when I forget it's up there, they dump it on my head.
Oh, well...
The next time one of those requisitions for fake snow comes through, could you just ignore that?
I'll put a stop to it.
Well, you did a good job.
he certainly
Thank
did.
you.
I mean, a great picker, super great.
I appreciate
Did you
that.
teach yourself to play the banjo?
No, I took lessons.
Okay. This is Grady Eldridge. And we're going to take a little break here at Nashville now. We'll be right back. Was the Nashville Network receptionist. She held that job for 3.5 years. Recently, she moved into tape control, which is too bad because she has a beautiful speaking voice, but also she has a lovely singing voice, which is what she's going to do right now. Would you please welcome Molly Flatt?
When I put on this ring, I drive a new Mercedes, play tennis with the ladies, and buy all the finer things. But all that don't mean nothing when you can't get a good night's loving. Oh, little Wright, think I'm gonna have to slip you off. Take the chance tonight and untie the knot. It's more than likely what I've got. Whoa, little Wright, you know this heart of mine just can't be bought. I'm gonna find someone who really cares a lot when I slip off this little ride. Well, I wonder if he'll miss me. He doesn't even kiss me when he at night. He never calls me honey, but he sure loves his money, and I'm the one who pays the price. But when he finds this ring, he'll see he keeps everything but me. Oh, little Wright, think I'm gonna have to slip you off. Take the chance tonight and untie the knot. It's more than likely what I've got. Oh, little Wright, you know this heart of mine just can't
I get to kiss the girls.
This is a privilege.
How are you?
Shake on this one. This is the one that I'll
Hey,
shake
that was
on.
a terrific job, Molly.
Right. Thank you. Bless her heart.
I understand you do a great June Carter impersonation. Is that right?
I have done June Carter, yes. Our director of programming, Paul Corbin, loves that, yes.
Well, there's also one more on there. Misty Rose.
You do Misty
I
Rose?
want to know how you imitate Misty Rose.
Okay, how does Missy go?
And the moral of the story is...
And Jane Hathaway from, what's she on the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah,
Is that one?
Jane Hathaway was the tall lady.
Nancy Culp, yes. That's, okay. I'm going to kill Roberta, by the
Molly
way.
has to get in a character for this.
Okay, Nancy Culp. But, Chief, I don't understand. Mr. Clampett has $20 million.
Well, for Chuck out here, you've got to do June Carter.
Well, Ralph, I've been on your show a number of times, me and John Carter and my sisters Helen and Anita and all the Carter family, and I've loved it.
All right,
Yeah, you
let's
know,
get to the serious stuff. Molly, what is tape control?
Tape control also being tape library. We keep track of all the tapes that are aired on the Nashville network and log them in the computer, and we just are to know where every show exists.
Do you miss the switchboard?
Yes, I will. I'm still there for another week, but I will miss it, yes.
Have you
I
had-
enjoy seeing everyone that comes in. I've got to meet a lot of people. Your fans.
Oh, well, you're very nice. I wondered if off the top of your head you could recall one of the strange telephone calls to the Nashville network.
Sure. A taping such as You Can Be a Star. Go tell that girl in there she's good. Just go right in there right now and tell her she's good.
Oh, you
They
mean?
have no idea it's a pre-taped show.
Oh, you mean they're watching the show at home?
Yes.
They want you to leave the
And
switchboard?
I wanted the celebrity judges to get her, and it's unfair, and I want you to do something about it.
Oh, they're upset.
Yes.
That's funny.
Molly,
Sometimes we have a lot of complimentary calls.
are you married?
No, I'm not. I'm single.
You're single. Well, the reason why I brought this up is, you know, she studied to be an RN. That's what it said. You studied to be an RN.
I was in nursing school, yes.
That's right. So she can tuck you in. She can take care of you. I'm not going to say she can take care of you if you're ailing, and then she can sing him to sleep.
You act like you're trying to book this girl.
Well, not for me. Me, I prefer men, but...
Well, no, I mean book, act as
Man.
her agent. Helen,
Her agent,
I
excuse me.
assumed you were acting as her agent.
As her agent.
Yes.
Well, in a way, yes. I'm trying to get her married off.
Or her PR person.
Yes, PR. I'm trying to help her find a guy.
Molly, you did a good job.
Well, thank you.
Not
Thank you a
that
lot.
she needs any help.
We'll take a little break. You've been watching Miss Molly Flatt. We'll be right back. Of this program, you know that for months, and then weeks, and then days, we followed the course of Gary Beatty anticipating the arrival of the new baby. And then we announced it was here. This is the baby's debut on this show.
Okay.
Gary, why don't you introduce that young man?
Ralph, I'd like for you and everybody in the Nashville Now family and audience to meet Hunter Winstead.
He's been working that pacifier over like, oh, give it back, he said. No, he's fascinated by the lights. He's already into stardom.
He got a little scared on the opening of the show. He was sitting in the audience, and that's the loudest noise he'd ever heard, I think, except maybe for his dad snoring or something like that. But he's doing all right.
Have you learned to change his diaper yet?
You betcha.
You
Yeah.
know, all
you
the
betcha.
proper folds?
Well, with the new modern
Oh, that's
technology.
right. They have these
yeah,
Velcro
right.
things now,
Yeah.
don't they?
Modern technology.
Where's Martella?
Martella is the shy one of the family. She is backstage somewhere with her fingers crossed, if I know Martella right now.
Oh, hoping I won't ask her to come
Right.
out. Okay.
Look at him. He's fascinated by the lights. He will not take his eyes off of the lights. I mean, he's focused. I mean, he's made up
He's waiting
his mind.
for his cue.
Oh, he's
That's
looking for a
right.
job later. He's looking at the star of the show.
Who's up there?
He knows.
I told him about the bucket, so...
Oh,
he-
did you?
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's watching for
watching
the
snow.
mysterious bucket?
Right.
Oh, he's beautiful, Gary.
Thanks,
He is
Ralph.
precious.
And
How old is he now?
He'll be 7 weeks old this Tuesday. 7 weeks
He
old.
is alert. He
How many
really
words
is.
is he speaking these days?
He's not doing the words yet, but when he cries, it's great. He goes, wah, wah, wah. Just, you know.
Oh, he does it that way?
Wah,
hand,
wah.
hand over the ear?
Right. It's
All
terrific.
right. We need to move on. We
Right.
have lots of acts. So, Helen, if you will do the honors, please bring on the next act. This is the Nashville Network staff show tonight.
And David Wright is one of our very own, and he's worked on over 600 Nashville Now shows, and he's still here to talk about it, and that is a feat. He started his music back in the 6th grade when he formed a group called the Mystics. Please welcome David. Come on, guys, help me out. Right.
Daddy's up late, Mama's downtown, sisters in the park, jumping up and down on a Coke machine. I'm reading pictures in a magazine, dreaming of places I will never see. I wanna go somewhere. Ducking the football, working on cars, calling up my honey, those in the bars. It's a finer team. Everybody needs a change of scenes. Oh, honey, you know what I mean. I wanna go somewhere. I wanna go somewhere. Sunny skies, blue Lord willing, and the creek gon' rise. Take off, honey, meet me there. Go somewhere. Watching the rerun, 6 in a row. It ain't the Beatles' fault, I know, but I'm bored to tears. Lord, I'm probably drinking too much beer. I'm sick and tired of just being here. I wanna go somewhere. I wanna go somewhere. Sunny skies, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Take off, honey, meet me there. I wanna go somewhere. Blowing our money on a love boat cruise, heading down a river in an old blue moon. I don't care, I just wanna be past the city limits, you and me. I wanna go somewhere, sunny skies, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Take off, honey, meet me there. I wanna go somewhere. I wanna go somewhere. Sunny skies, good Lord willing, and a creek don't rise. Take off, honey, and meet me there. I wanna go, I wanna go, I wanna go somewhere.
David, you're cooking. Hey, David. Welcome to the show. Now, you'll have to admit,
I like
David,
this
that,
part of
that,
the show.
that appearance was worth it just to get that big hug from Helen Cornelius.
Well, I'll have to admit that, yeah.
That's a nice part of the show. I don't normally get to do this. I just get to kiss you.
Oh, gosh.
That is kind of a
That's right.
disappointment, isn't it?
Well, sometimes. No, I'm kidding.
David, tell me what you do here at the Nashville Network.
Well, I'm a video engineer. I lost my voice trying to practice for this, so I'm a video
thought you
engineer,
sounded
and
great.
oh, thanks.
I really did.
Can't hear over here very well.
You
can
still sounded great.
Oh, thanks. And we try to keep these old cameras working, and we paint them up during the shows and just keep all the
What do
maintenance
you mean you
on 'em.
paint them up during the shows?
Paint your colors. We can make you red.
Yeah, you paint pictures, don't you?
Basically, yeah. It's
With
sort of like an artist.
high-tech equipment. You can make blues
Right.
blue, greens
Yeah.
green.
piece of cake.
And they can try to make, when you're not supposed to wear white on television, try not to make you look like a blooming iris.
Is that a problem?
It really is. It just, makeup has to dig to get some face out, you know.
Yeah.
You're probably a little brighter than you would be if you had on colored clothes.
Well, I forgot the bottom end of the black outfit, so I didn't have any choice.
Well, you see what I do. I wear it every time.
I see. It works.
Why do they call you Sludge?
Yeah, why do they call you Sludge?
Well, you know I fool with the race cars because we beat that to death. And I don't know, it's something to do with, one day I got caught with dirty hands. And I was going to the restroom, and the person that saw me was the last person in the world you want to see you do anything. And when, you know, it's like, oh, you're filthy. You're a sludge bucket. And that was about 4 years ago, and it died real fast. And then I really don't know why they started doing it. But I just always say I got caught with dirty hands. It's...
Have you, I'm going to get you off of that. Do you sing, do you have an act that you take out and sing, where you sing?
Well...
Pretty like I'm asking the wrong question.
No, you're...
I think that the band
How do you
probably
know
knows
so
more.
much?
No.
When we go on the road doing, like, the races and stuff, it's kind of fun to hit a few of the little local joints and hey, do you guys know Velvet Chains? But I've been offered work, though. I mean, I could go to Maggie Valley and get a job anytime I want. I just have to get a band, so when you're through with them, I've got a place for them.
Okay. Would you please applaud old Sludge? We'll take a break.
There's more Nashville Now coming up live from Opryland, USA on America's country home, the Nashville Network.
On March the 7th.
You know, it doesn't seem like it, but it's been wonderful. But I mean, it just seems like it just started, truthfully.
I want you to meet somebody very special. The only man I know who has never missed a single show. Wilburn Vegas. Wilburn, come over here. Wilburn.
Bless you.
My friend Wilburn. Sit down, Wilburn. Now, you may recall on one of the staff shows, Wilburn did the opening monologue, and he was wonderful.
Well, I'm doing him a heart
Tonight,
attack
so that
tonight.
the others could have a chance, he backed off. But I thought, Wilburn, if you would please help me with these cue cards to introduce the next act, we'll give you a shot right here. Now, you might tell these people what you do.
Tell him, Wilburn, right here.
I work in audio with Billy and Scott, Danny and Terry.
Yeah, Wilburn has the great job. He gets to place the mics on all the pretty girls.
He's been.
That's the reason he's never missed a show.
Huh? He's been working with this one all night.
Yes,
He does.
Does a good job, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I'll tell you he does. He's very thorough. Real thorough.
That's the reason he won't miss this show.
That's right.
All right, Wilburn. If you'll read, we'll trade cards. You read the first one, I'll read the second. You ready?
With all the talent around the network, it was inevitable that a band
would crop up. So from audio, edit, and master control,
I bring you the network.
The network consists of Mark Repp on drums,
Tom Edwards guitar,
J.L. Meyers on bass,
Dale Atchkison piano.
Hey, way to go to Wilburn. Now let's take a look at network.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying. My little girl, you're so young and pretty, and one thing I know, it's true. You'll be dead before your time is due, yes you will. you. My little girl, you're so young and pretty. And one thing I know, it's true. You'll be dead before your time is due. Yes, you will. See my daddy in bed, he's dying. See his hair, it's turning gray. He's been working and slaving his life away. Yes, I know it. That he's been working, yeah, every day, slaving his life away. I've been working to pay. I've been work. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. We gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. Girl, there's a better life for me and you. Yeah, I know it's true, baby. And you know it too.
Way to go, gentlemen. Mark, I thought I would start with you.
Way back here, yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you've got a microphone.
It's
This
a
is Mark's rep back
strategic position back here around.
here. Mark, tell me about this group.
Well, what can I tell you? Tom and I have been trying to do this sort of thing since about 6 years. And it's hard to get people because they're always coming and going through the network to
Well, I mean, do
participate.
you guys ever go out and perform for other people?
Every chance that someone will call and book us, we'll go out and play for other people.
Why don't you introduce the entire group?
Okay? Tom Edwards on guitar.
Okay.
J.L. Meyers on electric bass. And the keyboard wizard, Dale Atchison, down there at the
All right.
keyboard.
Now, I'd like to know what each of you do. What do you do, Mark?
I'm just an audio engineer.
What do you mean just an audio engineer?
Well, I'm the guy that turns your mic on the air when I'm in the control room. Terry's in there tonight, but I make sure all the voices and everything come out on the air.
And you do this. I've seen you work in the CMA show,
Yeah.
all those big shows at the Opry House. How about you, Tom?
I'm the post-production supervisor in charge of all the editing that's done here at the network.
So after they do a
Mess it
raw,
up, we fix it up.
after they do a raw show, you have to straighten it out.
That's right.
Okay, over here.
J.L. Meyers.
What do you do, JL?
Well, I'm an audio editor. I work with Tom and the other people in post-production. We put the shows together, the ones that are on tape.
Who created the group network?
Well, Tom and Mark had been playing for a while, and then the rest of us kind of drifted in there. We'd all been playing in other bands in the 60s. I had a band in Milwaukee, and these guys played around. Tom was with Exile for a while, so these are some talented people. Really.
I didn't know that. When were you with Exile?
70, 71 for just a brief period, back when they were playing rock and roll instead of country. And I think J.P. Pennington's the only original member from that band left in there.
So you worked with J.P.?
No, J.P. wasn't with them when I was with them.
Oh, was George Washington playing with them in those days? Let me run right down here to the piano player. Now then, what is your name?
I'm Dale Atchison.
All right, Dale, what do you do here at the Nashville Network?
I'm a master control operator.
What does that mean?
I load tapes, push buttons, and see that the right shows go out at the right times and put the commercials in them.
And you are at the board, the master control board that controls the whole thing. You hit a switch, we're out of business, right?
I've been known to do that, yeah.
All right, let's hear it for networking. We'll be right back.
Performing because Scott Allen usually works the sound for the audience here in the Gaslight, and so all of you people sitting out there enjoying the music have Scott to thank for it. From Chicago, Mr. Scott Allen.
dime, 'cause they can't buy a job. Buys and catches the poor old lady's eyes, just for fun he says, get a job. Well, that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. But don't you believe that? Say, hey little boy, you can't go where the others go, 'cause you don't look like they do. I said, hey old man, how can you stand to think that way? Did you really think about it before you made the rules? He said, that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. But don't you believe at the hiring time is the line on the colored bar. But that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. But don't you believe that?
Super, and you know, probably a lot of the folks out home, you know, they're familiar with this song, with this by Bruce Hornsby and Range.
Correct.
And you grew up in Chicago, and you no doubt were influenced by a lot of styles of music, weren't you?
Quite a few. We did a lot of things from church music to rock and roll, to blues and choirs and all
Country
kinds of things.
In Chicago?
A little bit. It's kind of funny. A lot of my parents' friends are heavily into the country thing, and every time I get home, I get drilled. So who have you seen, and who are you listening to? And
who do you know, and what about
Bit by the Bug. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You're great. You really are, and you've been doing the audio, and I know you're responsible when we need monitor sounds and all that to help us up here. And
correct.
And Mr. Jerry Whitehurst says he absolutely could not make it without you.
Well, that's nice of him.
No, he did. They were bragging on him out there. And do they have a nickname for you too, Scott?
Thank you.
No, and you also, did you take keyboard lessons?
I took lessons for a few years when I was younger, and then started playing in some bands in Chicago and got involved with that, and would like to pursue it again, hopefully someday.
Well, you did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scott Allen.
Thank you very much.
Here we go, Scott.
1, 2, 3. Staff show, and you're beautiful. You know that?
Thank you, Ralph.
I'm standing here with one of our assistants who works directly with the talent department. She is responsible for getting all the wonderful talent we have on our show. Would you, and by the way, I believe the song you're going to sing you wrote.
Yes, that's right.
And she's had some experience as a singer, and tonight she's going to show it off. Would you welcome Miss Vicki Carter? Vicki, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just want to say this. I understand you have signed with Millsap Music. Is that Ronnie Millsap Music?
Yes, just this particular song.
Well, that's great. I hope that you find success with that song.
Well, thank you.
Also, according to my notes, you have been a background singer for Keith Stegall, Tommy Cash, people like that.
That's right.
So you really are a ringer on this show, aren't you? Huh?
I don't know.
Where are you from, Vicki?
I'm originally from Ringgold, Georgia.
You sing down there?
Yes, I did.
Well, you did a good job for us tonight.
Well,
Ladies
thank
and
you,
gentlemen,
Ralph.
this Vicki Carter.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
You've got the best view of country in the country. Stay tuned. There's more Nashville Now coming to you live on the Nashville Network.
Our staff show, and Miss Helen Cornelius is going to bring you the next act.
Well, you know, we were discussing how many talented folks y'all have back in the sound room. And another soundman gets into the action tonight. It's Mr. Danny Amos. He's been with us here on Nashville Now for 3 years. And he's responsible, you know, a while ago we had him responsible for doing the Scott was for taking care of the audience and the people up here. And Danny is responsible for the folks at home, hearing the music good and hearing it mixed properly and everything. And tonight he's going to do an old instrumental classic, Miserlou, Mr. Danny Amos.
Danny.
Wonderful,
Congratulations. Good job.
Very good.
Oh, my.
Now, Ralph told me that Danny Amos is one of the most shy individuals ever, and that he probably says less words than Wilburn.
No, I
not
say more than
true?
Wilburn.
You do say more?
I say more than Wilburn.
And you're not as shy as Wilburn?
No.
Danny, did you play in rock bands before you came to the Nashville Network?
Yeah, up in New York, I was in a band called the Ray Beats.
The what?
The Ray Beats.
The Ray Bees?
Ray Beats.
Oh, Ray Beats.
R-A-Y-B-E-A-T-S.
Where are you from?
I was born in Memphis, but I grew up in Minneapolis.
And then obviously you migrated to New York State at some point.
New York City. I lived there for about 5 years, and I came down here.
Why did you come to Nashville?
I came to Nashville because I couldn't stand New York anymore. What?
But you toured in England also.
Yeah.
All over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of music did you all play in the Ray Beats?
Similar. It was guitar instrumentals.
Guitar. He's very fine. I came prepared, actually, for this tonight.
You came prepared for what?
This, because I'm co-hosting with you.
Oh.
And then... He is bashful.
I'll tell you what I get out of all that. Symbolism doesn't lose itself on me. I assume he smells great and my breath is bad.
Not now, it isn't. No more.
All right, let's move on with our staff show featuring the talented people who put together Nashville Now and who, in fact, put together the Nashville Network. Our next guest you saw briefly last night on the show. She's one of our cue card girls, and she has a little history that goes along with the song she's about to sing. I understand that she sang the original demonstration record that convinced Janie Fricke to cut this song. Singing He's a Heartache, here is Kim Beard.
But don't be fooled by his innocent smile. He's clever as a devil and
Kim. She's wonderful. I have a confession to make. You know, I'm a
glad it's
songwriter.
over.
No, you were wonderful. You were great. But, you know, I'm a songwriter, and I look at the charts all the time, and I know who writes things. I had no idea that the one holding up my cue cards was the one writing all of these hits. I'm really impressed. And it says that you just got cuts by Mark Gray and Otis Redding. I
Yeah, that's
envy
the most
you.
recent thing.
I mean, recently Otis and Mark, I mean,
Well,
have they come
not
out
Otis
yet?
Redding, he's dead, but his son, Otis Redding III.
Otis Redding the third. Okay, they did put that in here. That was little. But and you have your own publishing company?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm doing cue cards for.
Until you get the songs cut. But it says also that you just won first place in the gospel division of the Music City Song Festival. Did you write it by yourself or
No,
with
I
someone?
wrote that with a couple of friends of mine, Lynn Olson and Charlie Andrews, and I'd like to thank them for letting me be in on that song. So I'm real happy with that. 'cause
And
I-
what's the name of the
gospel.
song?
It's called My Hero Died. Hopefully, we'll get it cut here shortly.
Hero died. That's wonderful. Well, I'm really impressed. This has been a treat tonight. I mean, I had no idea. They're giving me intimidation problems, and the next time we come on here, I'm going to wonder about singing. But you're great. But
Thank
says
you very
this
much,
is your
Helen.
first time on the staff show too, singing, right?
It may be my last, too.
She's wonderful. A big round of applause for Mr. Kim Deere. And we'll be right back.
Trey Smith. Trey Smith is the general manager of Dimension Cable in Mesa, Arizona. And Trey, we here at the Nashville Network want to thank you for choosing the Nashville Network and for allowing all our folks to appear on your cable. I'd like to bring out a young man that also works in the back. He's one. Come here, Ronald. Sit down, Ronald. Nashville now has 3 people who time the show and try to keep me on schedule. This is one of them. This is Ronald Roberts. And Ronald, I'm happy to report you're not timing tonight.
If we were, we'd be out of time.
I know. You see, the enemy of any television performer is the clock. And this guy sits back there with a watch, and he tells the guy out front, the stage manager, to do this. Keep wrap him up.
Which you don't do.
What do you mean I don't do it?
You don't wrap up.
I'm pretty good about it, Robert.
No, you're
I mean,
not.
Ronald.
That's okay. But no, you're not. You're all right, but not really.
Like I said, it takes a lot of good people to make this show work.
Now, Ronald also knows that I'm a big fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He hates the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Thank you.
Now, you know, you may recall tonight I had the Cleveland Browns jacket on. I made a deal with him, and he's really suffering because he wanted the jacket. So I said, I'll give it to you on one condition. For a year, you can't say anything bad about the Dodgers. You haven't so far. You really like that jacket, don't you? You want to sing one tonight?
No.
Huh?
No. Sing what?
Anything. Just a cappella?
No,
all these people with all this talent?
My voice.
What? What happened to your voice, Ronald?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sing a duet with Deborah Bronner. That's the only way I'll sing. There she is right there.
Deborah?
Deborah Bronner will sing.
Deborah's shaking her head.
Well, that's it. I can't do it. I tried. I'm sorry.
Ronald, you're copping out.
Yes, I am.
But I expected that of you, Ronald.
I'm glad I didn't disappoint you, Ralph.
Who's timing tonight?
Rhonda. And she does an excellent job, and she's going to pay.
She's also wrapping us up.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to Helen Cornelius for the introduction of our next act.
Lyndon LaFever is the production assistant for Country Clips and Video Country. He's the one that screens all of the videos that the record companies send in, and he decides which ones to put on the air. Tonight, here's Lyndon LaFever singing the Antioch Church Choir.
let me sing in the choir, in the choir. Please let me sing in the choir. An old man can be all that bad. Won't you please let me sing in the choir? I guess you could say he's a fixture. Around town they all knew his name. Every time the church bells rang, Uncle Jesse, he up and came. He always sat in the very same pew, dipping on a can of snuff. When it came to the Antioch Church House choir, Uncle Jesse never heard enough. You see, he always wanted to sing in the choir, but he couldn't sing a lick, don't you know? He tried out for the Antioch choir 34 years in a row. He'd always get to the tryouts and said he wanted to try out first. But instead of the singing ever getting any better each year, it just got a little worse. Said, please let me sing in the choir, in the choir. Please let me sing in the choir. Can lift my voice just as high as yours, maybe just a little higher. Please let me sing in the choir, in the choir. Please let me sing in the choir. One old man can be all that bad. Won't you please let me sing in the choir? One cloudy Sunday morning, I remember it was raining some. The church bells rang and everybody came except for Jesse. He didn't come. Everybody started getting worried, but they figured they'd start anyhow. Just as they did, Jesse's voice started booming down from heaven. I don't know how. He said, I found me a choir that will let me sing. Now I'm singing in a choir. It'll lift my voice just as high as yours, maybe just a little higher. Said, I found me a choir that will let me sing. Now I'm singing in a choir. And you folks down there, you can't hold me a light, 'cause I'm singing in a heavenly choir. Please let me sing in the choir, in the choir. Please let me sing in the choir. One old man can't be all that bad. Won't you please let me sing in the choir?
There you go, Lyndon.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Now, Nashville is divided into many little satellite cities, and Antioch is one of them. I assume that's what you're singing about.
No, Antioch actually in this song is taken from the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Antioch is the first place that Christians were known as Christians.
All right.
And it's written from that place.
So we're talking about biblical times.
It is. But it's coincidental that I live in Antioch, and when I told everyone I was singing Antioch Church Choir, they go, oh, did you write the song? You know, since I was there. But
Where'd you get
no.
the song?
It's a song that I grew to love by hearing the Cumberland boys that sing in the park, the gospel quartet in the park. They sing that and do a wonderful job with it.
Now, what? I understand you work with Shotgun Red.
We're like this.
Are you really?
I'm the taller one.
You work on his country clip show.
Yes, I do. Do the formatting and putting everything into getting all the videos, putting them into the show, doing the timing, taking it to editing, and
So do you review all the videos?
review all the videos, read all the mail.
How about, do you work on video country as well?
I do all the screening of the videos and stuff with the producer, Joe Hosteller, as far as video country is concerned, and provide them with all the information about the videos and put it in the computer and do all the legal work and stuff like that with it. But we have two other production assistants for that show that do the time and editing and
Well,
stuff.
I'm sure you're all right with all the little people, just knowing that you're like that with Shotgun Red. All right. Lyndon LaFever. We'll take a little break, my friends. Be back in a moment. It's the third one we've done, and before we bring you our last act, I want to thank Helen Cornelius for coming and co-hosting tonight.
Ralph, it's my pleasure. I'm glad you finally let me come and talk as much as you do.
Well, there was never any doubt in my mind you could do that.
Well, I had to jump in sometime.
Where are you going to go from here?
Well, I took off to Wright I was supposed to take off 3 months, but they kept sticking dates in on me, so it ended up being 6 weeks. But I'm going to the Florida State Fair in Tampa next week, and I'll be there for 3 days, the 7th and the 8th and the 9th. And after that, I have no earthly idea.
So look for Helen Cornelius at the Florida State Fair.
I just came back from the Keys, and I got to lay out in the sun for 1 whole week, and I was going to wear something tonight that would show off my tan, and then I didn't want to rub it in, the fact that you're all white and pale, so I didn't. So I covered up, just for you, Ralph.
I really appreciate it, Helen.
Just for you.
Thank you.
And also we talked, I said, I am so
That's it, Helen.
hungry. No, I'm not through.
Helen, you're through now.
I'm
it's over.
hungry.
We're out of time, Helen. Now, I've got to move on here. I'm not saying we've saved the best for last, but what a way to close the show. It's time for the Flappers. The lady you're about to see is affectionately known as JT, Mother, Rooster, or Mama Joyce. She is the executive secretary to the boss, the fellow that runs this whole mess. She's the executive secretary to David Hall. Would you please welcome our flapper of the hour, Joyce Thomas.
Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I've moaned all day long. I'll do the cooking, honey. I'll pay the rent. I know I've done you wrong. Remember that rainy evening I drove you out with nothing but a fine-tooth comb. Well, I know I'm to blame, but ain't that a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come home?
Joyce, that's wonderful.
She is wonderful.
Joyce, where'd you get the dress?
Lillian.
Lillian whipped that up for you?
Whipped that up for me.
By the way,
yes.
Norm Ray is the other flapper in this picture, playing the hot horn.
Isn't he handsome in his fur over there? Hot show. That's wonderful.
No,
Norm. I'm proud of him.
where's the boss tonight? Where's David Hall?
I think he's at home. I mean,
and-
you scared me teetotally to death when you said David
Well, see,
Hall is here.
right before she sang, I said, hey, there's David Hall over in the corner.
I almost fell off the stool.
Do you think he might take exception to what you're wearing on his network? I think you're beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Have you do this professionally?
No, sir.
Gosh, you could fool me.
I just stay behind my desk and do David Hall's work.
And are you the one that intercepts all the calls?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But you taught dancing years ago, though, didn't you? Yes.
All right, now, we need to get everybody out here who was on the show. So all of you, if you will come out and take a final bow. All those who participated in tonight's staff show, just if you'll gang around. Okay, some of you come over this way, if you will, please. Now, I would like for all of you to applaud them.
I look shorter.
I want to say I think all of you were wonderful. There are others, of course, and on our next staff show, you'll probably see them. Thank you very much for watching. Good night, everybody, and good night, Helen.
Good night, Ralph.
Mr. Whitehurst, let's go home.